Hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Untitled KKP Show, the show on Kakuchopre's YouTube page and website where we talk about video games in video form. Just haven't figured out what to call the actual show, so we're just sticking to Untitled KKP Show for now. I'm your host, Mr. Toffee, Jonathan Toyat, Jonathan aka Mr. Toffee Toyat. And yeah, we got a bunch of awesome updates, some insane, some awesome, some not so good. Yeah, you got lots to juggle around, so let's move around it. I think this one could be a bit more Xbox-centric. More or less. So, let's see. First up, I played a lot of Ninja Gaiden 4. That was on Xbox Game Pass for free. That was great. That was last week, I believe. Last Monday, Tuesday. I guess I had to wait until Tuesday and Wednesday until it actually went live. And then actually because I had some other stuff I gotta work on. So that's an action game from Koei Tecmo. It is a sequel to parts 1, 2, and 3 for the Xbox back in the day. And now. So now we focus on a new ninja. His name is Yakumo. Raven guy. Raven themed ninja from the Raven clan, the Shadow clan. So this is like the secret covert op ninja group, which I don't think was ever mentioned in part 3 or part 2. Or maybe Again, story isn't the strongest suit of a Ninja Gaiden game. It is just basically set pieces, dressing to lead to the action. So you play as Yakumo, he's the ninja, you actually get to level up his skills. He's like I won't say he's a rookie, he's really into it, but at the same time you gotta need to, buy moves for him whenever he gets to his trainer. So you see a little crow, talk to the crow, summons his ninja master down, and then he learns a bunch of moves, which you gotta buy with ninja coin. You also get to buy items with ninja coin. You also get to buy equipment as well and whatnot. You even get to partake in missions while you're doing a mission. Do side missions, which requires you to basically explore every nook and cranny of a linear stage. Like they'll have some pockets, deviating paths so you can complete missions. And the missions you complete are basically you kicking ass, killing ninja ass, demons, fiends, giant bosses. It is a very violent game, I'll tell you that. It earns its R rating, its MA rating. It really earns it because of all the dismemberment you'll be doing. So just like in part 2, and I think the update of part 3 raises edge, you get to fight enemies, beat them up, you dismember them, and then you do the instant obliteration technique, which basically just kills enemies in a really nice cutscene, short little cutscene thing. You stylishly kill enemies. You need to do this because you're gonna get overwhelmed. I mean, I played the game on normal, but I've seen playthroughs of Ninja Master Mode, and you kinda need to do this technique and know your way around a Ninja Gaiden game, because while the game is accommodating for action fans, when you get to Ninja Master Mode, it's all bets are off. It is basically a Ninja Gaiden game through and through from there. So those who are feeling that is this a Platinum game or a Koei Tecmo Team Ninja game, I'd say it's a Platinum Games game, but with a little touch of Team Ninja's spark and ingenuity at the Ninja Master Mode. I had fun with it, there's no denying that. It's really fun. Levels are a little bit repetitive, but they're meant to be because they're just corridors for arena boss fights, arena wave attack rooms for you to do your ninja stuff, and that's a lot you can do. So Yakumo not only can fight with light and heavy attacks, combos, and the flying swallow, and the Izuna drop stuff and whatnot. He also has a Blood Raven mode, so you gotta hold the trigger button on one side, the left side, to do his Blood Raven starts. And that basically lets you do a powerful attack that breaks block, breaks stun, interrupt enemy attacks, and pretty much it just deals a lot of damage. You'll need to actually learn enemy attacks and enemy telegraphs, so whenever you see like a red flash, that's when you use Blood Raven. So a lot of boss fights require you to just bob and weave, avoid attacks, do a little combo, jump out, and then you just block the attack with the right trigger or just dodge him, and then when you see the red flash, that's when you quickly do the Blood Raven attack. Now keep in mind, your default Blood Raven attack with your twin swords, your double swords, the first weapon you start of the game, is kind of slow, so you need to actually anticipate the red flash as soon as you're done understanding the enemy tactics and whatnot. Later weapons will make you do Blood Raven attacks faster, but the default, I especially love like the rapier you get, because when you do the Blood Raven attack, when you do your instant kill attack, it actually transforms the sword into a drill that just drills out enemies. That never gets old, man. I basically used that for a bit, then I just stuck with that. I have the club, I have the mace, the bow staff slash mallet, but I always go back to the single sword weapon. It's just doing the spear drill thing on enemies. It's just nice, gratifying, and satisfying. Yes. So while it's not really the best, I mean, again, the story is, passe. It's like, oh, you gotta defeat the 4 guardians, you have to resurrect the Dark Dragon and do something about it. It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, you're not playing a Ninja Gaiden game for its plot. You're just there for the action, and it starts off normal-like, and you can actually change it back to easy if you want. It's really up to you. But generally, when you unlock that mode, when you unlock Ninja Master Mode, all bets are off, like I said. Now, in terms of the cheesecake, you have Sayori, who, when you see her, is like, oh wow, I wish Shrine Maidens look like that more often in video game form. And she's chirpy, and she's like the type of character who will offset Yakumo's edgelord junior behavior. And you got Ayane popping up, but she's only there for a bit. That really sucks. I kind of wish there was more of her. And if there's going to be DLC for Ninja Gaiden 4, bring Ayane in a new costume, bring Momiji in a new costume, bring Rachel and Sonia in a new costume. Anyone. I mean, come on, that's what Team Ninja and Ninja Gaiden is all about. It's not just the ninjas, it's the ladies they come with, So yeah, having Sayori and new outfit of Ayane, hey, good start. I hope this keeps going on. I'm giving this game, I guess, a 7 or an 8, between a 70 and an 80. More towards a 70 because I know Platinum, and this is like a good start for revitalizing Ninja Gaiden, the 3D game. But it's not gonna beat my top contender for 2025, which is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. That's a better 2D game than this being a 3D game. It's good, and it veers onto great. It plays really well. I mean, the story is typical shonen nonsense with edge rock, and you're gonna forget most of the characters except for Sayori's outfit, and that's not considered a character, by the way. But at the same time, you know that these two companies have done better games back then. I say this like one step below Bayonetta 2, and in terms of the Team Ninja Pantheon, Ninja Gaiden 1 Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 Original Xbox 360, all still at the top. Ninja Gaiden 4 is like in the between Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden 3, which is at the bottom. To say that Ninja Gaiden 4 is like Ninja Gaiden or worse than Ninja Gaiden 3 is stupid, honestly. Because god damn, Ninja Gaiden 3 is the original, the base game is fucking boring, Not the best experience. It tries though, it tries. But Ninja Gaiden 4 is more like, hey, we're gonna have this style of gameplay, buy the moves and all that. Oh, another complaint. When you're playing as Ryu Hayabusa, yeah, it's gonna be like the Devil May Cry 4 syndrome, where you play a legacy character, you go through the same levels all over again with a full moveset. So not really the best kind of design, honestly. So that's why I get a 7 out of me, because of the repetition of that. But playing as Yakumo, getting into it, doing his moves, doing the attacks, Blood Raven stuff, yeah, works out just great. So I really appreciate that. I really hope this does well, people buying the game and whatnot. But can't really fix Xbox right now, right? But hey, at least it's a good starting point. Koei Tecmo should be proud of this Ninja game, back to basics and doing something a little kind of new with the controls and whatnot. Again, this feels more like a Platinum Games game than a Tecmo Koei game. But hey, I'm not complaining. I get my jollies doing the fighting and all that, so good stuff all around. Good stuff. All right, up next, we have the Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian Games, an Xbox game studio. This is the latest computer RPG from Obsidian, known for doing Pillars of Eternity, Outer Worlds 1, Fallout New Vegas, the good stuff. They did Avowed this year, but I do feel that that's a botched project. We know about the development hell that game went through. And truth be told, I enjoyed Avowed. I like the combat mostly. The characters, okay, but not up to the Obsidian level at 1. You can be rest assured that Outer Worlds 2 is leagues better, that's for sure. In terms of it being a scale of Fallout New Vegas, it's just a few steps below, but it's still really, really high. So Outer Worlds 2 has you playing a new character, and after a botch assignment, after 10 years have passed, you're frozen and you come back to life, and now you kind of have to find the person who actually was responsible for the botch of the job. So off you go to different space adventures, finding your target and doing quests for people here and there. Helping out like the new corporation that you're kind of working for, Auntie's Choice, because it used to be Space's Choice and there's a merger, and then it became Auntie's Choice, so that's your parallel for it being, Xbox, a company that has gone through merging companies being bought over. Same deal here with Obsidian, poking fun at the company they're under. So good on them to actually make that brave choice, being ballsy about telling a story about corporation and making fun of them when they're under a corporation doing the exact same thing. There's even like a cult, a group in this game that worships AI numbers. And how it actually would eventually lead to their downfall in the most humorous Obsidian kind of fashion possible. Like with Fallout New Vegas' kind of style of humor and everything. So yeah, this is really... I have no complaints about the writing so far. I love the voice work. I love the writing for Outer Worlds 2 right now, as of now. Like, you've got like different planets. See, they focus more on quality rather than quantity. So, not like a gajillion planets like in Starfield. Like, just focus on like 5 or 6 and then make them alive. Make them explorable. Make them big. Make them fun to go through. Make them memorable. I mean, you remember Gold Ridge. You'll remember one of the space stations you'll go to. You remember the Paradise Island, or Paradise Planet? Island? Paradise. The first planet you actually start on in like the first 30 minutes to an hour of it, and then you'll just get enraptured into it, unravel, immersed, and you're gonna be there for like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours doing all the missions there. Like, not just the main stuff, but the side stuff here and there. And as you're going through and playing your way of playing, you'll come across like these prompts called flaws. So let's just say you like to run in headlock first into danger with your team. You'll eventually get the flawed prompt, reckless leader prompt. Basically, you cannot revive your companions, but if one companion dies, the other companion gets all the buffs and refills his companion gauge to do special partner skills and shit. So you get those kind of quote-unquote perks, flaws, that are permanent, and once they appear, you have to choose whether you want to keep it or remove it. You keep it, it's yours. If you remove it, I don't think you're gonna see it again. I got so many flaws with the playstyle that I have. One, I think it was pretty funny, shopping spree or something. Basically, you get like discounts, but your sell value lessens, but you get better discounts while buying in shops and all that because you're thrifty and shit. That's really fun. That's a really fun flaw. And as you level up, you still get a bunch of like the other stuff that was from the previous games. Like you get to, when you create a character, you get allocate your skill points, choose your background, and then you get to figure out your perks and your negatives. You pick 2 perks, you get 1 negative. You pick 1 perk, no negatives. And then as you level up, you actually get more buffs and awesome talents as you level up each of your skills, like gun or speech or medic or health. Was it medic, science, engineering, and so forth and so forth. So basically, if you put a lot of points into speech, you're gonna get a lot of talents to choose from that are revolving around speech. Like, my favorite is probably like a space ranger, was it? Where basically, for every 1 point of speech you get, you put in, you deal 2.5% damage. So imagine if that reaches to 30 or 20. Yeah, that's a nice buff with my gun right there. So I don't need a gun buff. I just need a speech buff to add it to my damage to my any weapon that I use, whether it's melee or gun. But for me, my playstyle has always been like, the first time I play this game, I'm gonna be a fast-talking gunslinger. So I put more points in gun and speech. And then maybe locksmith, and then lockpicking, that's for sure. So I can actually get technically some stealth skills, where basically if I put more points in lockpicking, I get to eventually pickpocket people. And look into their pockets whenever I'm crouching, so I know what I'm stealing before I do anything funny, whether it's worth the risk in the first place. Or even some skills where basically if I get like 5% to my gun critical, but the peeking part, the peeking through the pickpocket thing was, you get a bonus to 5% criticals of guns. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And you got a bunch of nice real equipment here that you can equip. Oh, you got gadgets. Gadgets are new to Outer Worlds. So in Outer Worlds 2, you get like gadgets that let you see invisible enemies and traps with I guess X-ray goggles they call it, or N-ray goggles. Then you got like the dissolving goo, lets you dispose of corpses and other sort of like barricades and whatnot. Really fun ways of using your tools, because you actually get extra tools to you know explore the many possibilities of solving many problems in Outer Worlds 2, because this game is so open-ended. As of now, I've only played like about 12 to 15 hours of this game, and oh my god, that's a lot you can do and be a dick about. Oh, and just like in the first game, you get to actually be dumb, so maybe have your intelligence really low, or just pick the dumb trait, and then you actually get different responses where people are just condescending you or patronizing you. That's also fun. That'll be for my second playthrough, but for now I'm just going to be the talking gunslinging kind of guy. Playstyle works out really well, and also maybe a little bit of points into leadership so my companions can do all the dirty work. So yeah, you got so many playstyles that lets you open up options. Well, again, I guess this sequel's only major flaw is it is kind of similar to the first game. I mean, it's again more Outer Worlds, which is not a complaint, because I get good writing, I get funny commentary, nothing preachy about it. I get fun combat, I get fun space stuff, I get to do lots of talking, lots of negotiating, and eventual boss fights if I have to. Awesome new weapons to get, like a bunch of goggles that let you see the game as a 2D retro kind of style game, or guns that singing swords, or guns that fire portal guns or some shit. You got some really crazy weapons in this game eventually as you get deeper and deeper. And if you get the credits for it. I mean, again, if you got lockpicking, you're gonna open up lots of things and get more money that way. But all in all, people who fear that Obsidian might be tanking downwards, yeah, don't worry about them. I think they're gonna be doing... They're done good with Outer Worlds 2. Again, my other issue is, again, the company they're under. No matter how successful this game gets, I really hope it's successful, they might get the axe. Again, remember Hi-Fi Rush? That's a successful company, but holy crap, they got done dirty, and then now with another different company, Crafton, who I heard they're going to be focusing more on AI, so that's a pretty messed up future right there. I really hope for the best for them. Tango Gameworks. But in this case, Obsidian, I mean, let's just talk about the now. Like, again, what happens in the future, we can't really predict. But still, I really like Outer Worlds 2. It's a great computer RPG. Should you buy it early access? Well, at this point in time, I think early access is already going to be petering out. So I really suggest you just wait. You really should not be paying 400 RM plus to get, I mean, unless you're a super fan, which you should have, which I'm assuming you bought like already last Friday or Saturday. At this point in time, as I'm recording on a Monday and going on to Tuesday, on the 27th, 28th, just wait around. It's just a couple of more days until the 30th. And then on the 30th, you get to buy it at a very, very fair price on the standard mode and whatnot. You're going to have a ball of a weekend playing Outer Worlds 2. You're a super fan, you can't wait, yeah, go ahead and buy it right now. Although you should have done that like a couple of days ago. But in the meantime, this one gets like an 80 or a 90 for me. Like, leaning towards a 90, that's for sure. But definitely, this is worth playing if you really want an RPG that is similar in tone to Fallout New Vegas, and if you love the original, I think there's a lot to like here. Companions aren't as memorable, but I am liking Aza, the psychopath you meet later in the game, and Niall's got a bit of a mean streak to him, considering that he is one of the part of the company that you got betrayed and got botched and got screwed over in the botched job. So I like to see that progression and everything. But yeah, this is a recommendation for me. Maybe just wait until like it's in regular, like when is you just get the regular version, like which is coming out Friday, Thursday or Friday, and just go from there. And that is my public service announcement for The Outer Worlds 2. Good recommendation for me. Heartiest recommendation. You know what's also a hearty recommendation? Dispatch Episode 1 and 2 from Ad Hoc Games. I was actually one of the lucky few to actually review the game early. The first 4 episodes. And I will tell you this is a return to a classic game style that's been around in 2016, 17, 18, 19? No, sorry. 2010-ish, the aughts of the Xbox 360 period, which is the Telltale Games style of visual novel adventure gaming, where the cinematic plays, game engine is in cinematic form, and then you choose the dialogue under a timer, and then you see how the story goes and whether people you talk to remember that here and there, and your choices will carry on to the last few episodes of the show, the game. So what Ad Hoc has done, which was actually comprised of a lot of Telltale Games studio folks. What's really cool is they actually are just doing what they are perfect at, but creating your own superhero IP, which is Dispatch. So you got a lot of awesome voice actors voicing this. A lot of great voice acting, the animation work, and the game, the basic game of simulating dispatching heroes is also kind of cool too. You again, once you get a story played out, you actually play as a guy named Robert Robertson, failed hero, and then he wants to get his life on track, so he starts working for this SDA, I think that's the company called, which is basically Superhero Dispatch Association or Unit, SDA or SDU. And then you basically have to direct a bunch of Z-lister heroes to do different tasks here and there. You also gotta consider that they get tired after doing a mission, so you gotta wait for their resting period to go down, and then you get to send them out, dispatch them again to different jobs here and there. A lot of stuff can happen at the same time, so you need to decide which jobs to take, which job to botch, which job to ignore. And also there are gonna be some team dynamic and team issues happening. So 2 heroes together, they can synergize if you put them together and if they're friends. And then if they're not, some heroes are loners, so they don't want partners and whatnot, so you can't give them partners. And there are even some bits where basically, as Robert Robertson, you kind of have to hack because you are a tech guy. So you get to actually hack through security under a timer. Really fun, simple minigame. Requires you to use the WSC key, up, down, left, right kind of prompts, and then you gotta avoid security. Yeah, it's really interesting stuff as you move your node around to unlock the codes and open up doors, open up the node to turn on the switch so that you can actually help the situation at the place itself where the crime is happening. The first 2 episodes and the other 2 that I played, all really nice, and leads to a really nice payoff, and can't wait for like the rest of this 4 episodes to come out, which is happening like every week. So this week you're gonna have 3 and 4 coming out later, and then the next week you're gonna have 5 and 6, and the following week you get 7 and 8, and you're done in Dispatch. So that's the episodic nature of this game. Price is already cool. I think it's about like 60-70 RM. It should be like less than 20 USD or so. So yeah, the voice work from Aaron Paul, who plays Robert Robertson. You've got Lauren Bailey as Invisigal. That's a rebranded name. Jeffrey Wright as the former speedster, now old guy. Aaron Yvette as Blonde Blazer. Yeah, so you've got some pretty cool, possible romantic entanglements, as said by Aaron Paul and whatnot. You got different pathways through the story. Again, it feels like a choose your own adventure kind of thing going on. Yeah, so it's like reminiscent of the Telltale games of the era, except when they're overloaded with so many work and so many of these games coming out. So these kind of games do need to exist, but they can't be churned out. They need to be done like once every 2 years, or once every 3 years. Whenever the creative team are, have a new story, work on it for 3 years, make it the quality work that it is with Dispatch. I love the animation, I love the voice work, music choices, licensed music, but good music choices. Great voice work, acting. Gameplay is definitely meant to be simplified and easy on the thumbs and on the mind. So it's not really like a huge brain teaser, but you still need to know some managing skills, and who to send dispatch and whatnot to have a successful mission. But again, how you do in the missions and how the story pans out, it mostly focuses more on the story. They prioritize story more. So if you're kind of failing, yeah, it's kind of leading to that storyline part, and then who knows, maybe the story might end up making you succeed over and over and whatnot, depending on the choices you make. So all I'm saying is, yeah, Dispatch is worth buying. Play through the first 2 episodes, and then this week you got the other 2. And you're gonna get your money's worth once all the episodes come out. So I think that's gonna be like the week after next week. Yeah. So I got a review of that written, so I gave that an 8 out of 10, 80 out of 100 for now. If the payoff of the story turns out the way that, if it surprises me, if it adds in some really nice dramatic and comedic bits, a good balancing act of comedy and drama and romance and whatnot, then I'm giving this a 90 out of 100. If it still maintains my level of interest, like if I'm not super wowed by the last few episodes, it's not going to change my sentiment at all, unless the ending is so terrible, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, Dispatch is definitely a throwback to a era of adventure gaming that I actually liked back in the day, when it was new. So hopefully this game does well, because it is really, really well made, well polished, and again, Critical Role did a great job with the voice acting and the way they handled things here and there, and ad hoc too. So really, really cool stuff. High recommendation for me. You got like 3 games, like 2 of them you can play for free-ish through the Xbox game subscription, which I don't think you should cut ties with yet. Maybe after you're done with Outer Worlds 2, then you can unsubscribe. Yeah. I just suck it up and just pay for the PC Game Pass for now. And then when you're done with Outer Worlds 2, then you can cancel your subscription, because apart from Forza Horizon 6, I don't know what else is worth waiting for Xbox. Maybe that Halo game that's coming out, which we'll talk about in a bit. But Dispatch is worth buying, that's for sure. Please support. I won't say they're completely indie. I think they're more like single or double A kind of company. But doesn't matter. This is a good game. A really great adventure game that harkens back to the bygone eras of the aughts. In a good way. That kind of era where story is done really well, choices do matter, to see the payoff that you want, and it's got some really interesting simulation mechanics to it, simple as they may be, but it's still, the banter and the talking and the dialogue and the cringe humor, all the combination of that actually just makes it worth paying attention to see to the end, because you do want to see how Robert Robertson's path to redemption is, and you want to see how the other superheroes pan out, like with their arcs, like Blonde Blazer, Invisibitch. I cannot stop saying Invisibitch. That's such a cool, badass villain name, so yeah.